Action. Welcome to Sweet Potato Pirate, Episode 3.
What's goody? Welcome back. Here's the time.
And today, for the poem, shout out to Val, good friend of ours. This is a poem she wrote, and this is the quote. This might all be gone by morning, but isn't it a beautiful night?
No, nice. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I like it short and sweet. What do you think about that poem?
When you started, I thought it was going to be like a story or something.
Well, it's just an excerpt. I was like, I don't want to have a whole...
Oh, it was an excerpt. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, so how much? Which part is that?
Oh, it was like, there's like a whole book, but like this one's just by itself.
Oh, okay.
So there's stuff that goes before and after.
I was just making sure you didn't chop it up.
No, I didn't take it out of context.
Remix it.
All right, and the recent
shout out Mr.
art
Organic.
News. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, fun. Organic. Who's Organic?
This is a new YouTuber I've been watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr. Organic with a K.
Mr. Organic.
Shout out.
What does he talk about? What is his content?
He's a comedian. He just makes like skits and stuff.
He's just a goofy
But he has
fella.
the funniest voices. He does the funniest voices. I swear to God.
That's good to know about Mr. Organic. His funny voices. Shout out to Mr. Organic then.
But yeah, no, art has been an artsy week, I guess.
Yeah, it's been an artsy weekend.
We out here, we art hoes. Had a show that went well too, so.
Yeah, we had the show On Edge. Kareem's art was up in that. I helped install it.
On Edge.
Up in Edge Gallery. It's still there if you're it's gonna be there for another few weeks if you're listening to this live.
It's a bunch of edgelords.
A bunch of edgelords, definitely.
No, it was fire. It was like they had food, they had drinks. I honestly was enjoying myself. I went on an empty stomach though, so I just 2 glasses of wine.
No, I know.
Like,
we got
I was spilling all over the place.
Actually, that happened with both events. I think was we got hungry, real hungry.
Yeah. It's got to come prepared.
Yeah, you get.
But the other artists were fire. Like I swear to God, shout out Tuesday Nicks.
Yeah, Tuesday Nicks is making some crazy stuff.
That's the one I'll remember because I don't know why. Like as a kid, let me give you a description of the art. It's basically a framed up magma.
Yeah, it looks like the magma's oozing out of the frame. It's not like,
and it's
not just 2-dimensional. It's 3-dimensional, very 3-dimensional.
And it's like playing, like it comes out of the frame. It's like drooping out sometimes. Mm-hmm. I wish we can put a photo.
I saw there was even some we found her on Instagram if we were looking at her other stuff, and like there's some other pieces I thought that were really fire too. That was kind of like making it look like things got covered in lava. So
wow, I thought that would be like her main thing, but no, it was like she does a lot of other stuff too. But no, it's cool because I remember as a kid I always thought lava, and especially volcano, not even like exploding volcano per se. I just thought the lava, the magma itself, was like the coolest shit. Like I remember Ethiopia specifically has like these like depression areas, like where the earth has like above ground volcanoes almost on a flat spot. Like there's like salt flats, and little oasis. So I don't know my geology, so I'm probably butchering this, but there are a few volcanoes that are above ground, and you have the same kind of like magma. Sometimes it's blue magma or like green.
Whoa!
But I've never really seen the colorful acts. I've just seen like
that's
just
crazy.
The regular stuff. But it literally bubbles up in a way that's like nothing else, and you almost want to grab it and play with it. Like Play-Doh.
It's so like aesthetic.
It looks so friendly.
Aesthetic.
It looks like Play-Doh. And I remember when before everybody told me what it was, I thought you could play with it and grab it and pick it up. And even when they said, "Nah, it's hot," I didn't really understand what hot was.
Yeah, so it was like it's crazy how hot it is.
Yeah, you watch me, I'm gonna touch it. But now
it's not like in Minecraft, where it kills you in a few seconds. Yeah, it'll kill you immediately.
And I swear to God, even when I found out it was hot, I still wanted to grab it. Because people were like, "It'll just melt you into bones, or your bones will melt." I'm like, I want to see what that's like a crazy person.
You're a magma addict.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's funny. I think it's true that even if you're like just standing next to the magma, your feet, like your shoes will get melted.
Yeah.
So you have to be wearing like special shoes, and like even then you're gonna have to replace them every now and then. You can't just be hanging at the lava all day. You gotta get You gotta get in and get out.
I actually always thought it was cool, like when the people had the special suits. So and they would like walk around in it. I'm like, how the hell is that suit protecting you? Like, it looks like a thin tinfoil. How you got tinfoil protecting you from deadly heat? But they do it, or so they say. So they say it is. I don't know. I would love to hang around a volcano.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast at a volcano one time.
Yeah, I swear volcanoes are like the fires. Like, what is it, Indonesia that's got the most volcanoes?
Maybe. I mean, I know that's where like Krakatoa was.
Something like I was reading or watching something about this not a while ago, but they like the parts of the world that, especially that are that volatile with volcano, tend to see like serious levels of human population and agriculture happening because I don't know. Again, I don't know geology, but something about that level of destruction in one place allows for like more life.
So is it like enriches the soil or something?
Oh, what's the place called? It's
Iceland?
Java. It's a place called Java. It's like right off Indonesia.
And it's an island in Indonesia.
It's like got crazy level of population, even though it's just like this tiny as hell. And there's a history of.
It's not that tiny.
It's tiny.
No.
Malta is it's tinier than Britain.
Well, yeah, Britain's like pretty big, Cyprus. But like it's bigger than Cyprus.
No way.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger than Cyprus. Java.
It looks tiny. Are you serious?
It's just because it's like on the Mercator projection. It like makes it look.
But it's got like over 100 million people.
Yeah, it's very populated for sure.
Oh yeah, it is smaller than you're right. It just zoomed out. It always looks so tiny.
Yeah, because it's on the equator too, so it's like the equator always shrinks in those kind of maps.
Yeah. But the mad volcanoes out there. I would love to go.
Shout out
Indonesia.
Indonesia, they say it's like the growing power in Asia. I feel like, I don't know. I like Indonesia. I always thought that's an interesting place.
Yeah, I mean, it's really popping over there. It's like very urbanized.
And the new president's like, he looks just like Obama, is what everybody says.
He looks like Obama?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, wait, pull up a picture of it.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that black people over there.
No, he's not black. He's
he's Indonesian Obama.
But he looks a little bit like he just looks like Obama.
President or prime minister?
President. His name is like Joko, yeah. It's like Jocko Willink.
Oh my god. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, we gotta put in a picture of him. It's just like Obama.
This is so funny, yo. I'll timestamp it here. So maybe we can put an image up if we're lucky. Don't get your hopes up though.
No, we'll get an image.
You might get an image that
I think we need to get
it's like the Android logo like this, the X. That means it didn't format properly. But we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. And then the other event,
Widodo.
Yeah, Joko
Widodo.
He looks less like Obama without his hat on.
In certain other pictures, yeah, but that one,
yeah, just like straight on. Yeah. It's just very Obama.
He looks cool. I hope he's not like that Duterte guy in the Philippines.
Oh no! Apparently the Duterte guy got like replaced with someone even worse.
How does it get worse?
Well, because
that's bad.
Like the Philippines used to be. Well, I don't know exactly if it's worse or better because I don't know that much about Philippines. But the guy was a member of the. You're good with that, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Remember what? Okay.
Anyways, like the Philippines had been run by a dictatorship like years and years ago, and so now it's like the son of the old dictator who's come into office instead of.
He came back. He got elected.
So the new president is the son of the old dictator,
That's
and then
crazy.
Duterte is out. And so it's just like, yeah, Duterte was bad, but it's like if they're going back towards a dictatorship, I don't think that's much better. I, mean, I don't know for sure. Though.
Everywhere you go, there was a dictator at one point.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think that's the normal way. Years. Well, dictator, like we have such a stigma against it right now, but I think that an autocrat, right, one like a king, like that's been the norm for most governments ever.
Yeah, it's a thin line. I talk about it in modern political terms because back in the day, like it really was just absolute dictatorship. You can sugarcoat it with whatever, like the royal house or the chosen house.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's what it was. But I feel like nowadays we have like everybody attempting modern politics and kind of like establishing whether it's communism or capitalism, trying to kind of move forward in a modern world. They tend to elect officials and not just have kind of hereditary monarchy type of situation. So in that context, everybody at one point, especially in their beginning, have had, except maybe not America, I guess, because America hasn't had that. Been having presidents.
I mean, there's a few countries I think that have been republics for a while,
but America didn't have an explicit dictator in their history.
Yeah, like, we've never had an explicit dictator. Like San Marino, I think it's the same, but it's so small that a lot of people don't pay attention to.
I know Ethiopia. As soon as the monarchy fell, we immediately got a dictatorship.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to not have a dictatorship. I think, and
like a communist dictatorship too. Oh, no, not a pretty one. The Derg.
Is that his name?
That was the regime's name.
Oh, the Derg.
The main guy was Mengistu Haile Mariam. I don't know if he's still around. I feel like that dude is like a war criminal at mass. I don't know how he's still walking. But I don't know if he's still around, honestly. Last time I recall, he was like hiding in another African country, like Uganda or like somewhere else.
It's kind of weird to think about. It's like a lot of the times rich dictators, after they get ousted, they'll just like post up in some other country. Like I heard one about some African dictator, and he got ousted, and then he was like one of the most brutal dictators too.
He'll go to Russia or Saudi Arabia or something.
No, he went to France.
Wow.
He's like in Paris, like eating some cheese baguettes and shit. It's crazy.
I mean, that's true. I feel like a lot of the Nazis did that.
Yeah, well, they went to South America. Or, I mean, even Switzerland, maybe, like, some of them even stayed in Europe. Like, it's not like they, like, the German upper class, I think, wasn't exactly, like, hated on. It was just because they were trying to fuck up other countries' upper classes. Like, you know.
That's awkward.
Like, as evil as they are.
They didn't give a shit until they pulled up on their own, wealth.
Yeah, it's only because it was like
scummies,
threatened the wealth of the other upper classes that like that's why the Germans I think got so much energy against them, not because they were bad people.
I'm sure it's a lot of
even
things.
Though they were horrible people.
There's a lot of horrible things that would keep happening to this day if people's money wasn't getting messed with, or at least their status as a unified state or nation, whatever. It's all politics.
Right, definitely.
Now people still do horrible shit. They just don't do it in your face as much. It's a lot of hidden, slimy shit nowadays, especially in terms of, politics. What is synonymous to be dirty and slimy, in my opinion, to be a politician?
I don't think that. I feel like that's such a I hear so many people say that.
Slow descent into that.
You'll see him
at first.
Like, what is this an excuse? Because everyone is always like, oh yeah, well, of course I'm going to be corrupt. I'm a politician, but like, where are our standards at? Like, we're just going to be okay with that?
No, the reason there's no standards because it's been over and over again abused.
I know it has, but
we can't have a standard anymore. It's like, and then you see the people who still like whether it's Clinton's or the current like the Pelosi, whatever those people. Right. Like, you see how they benefit each other and their people continuously and play their roles and keep winning. And it doesn't really seem like a new thing, but people kind of have an idea that this is just what politics is. It's become so synonymous that they don't really get ousted in a big way. Like, you'll have to have an enormous scandal to be really ousted nowadays. Like you did in the past, probably, but not as much.
Well, I think that the issue we have right now in America, at least, is that there's like this level of corruption, that is just normal. And then, like the fact, like everyone just blames it on the other side. So it's like, Pelosi might be corrupt, but those Republicans are just bonkers.
It goes both.
And so then it's like you don't clean out the shit in the Democratic Party because you're like, oh, the Republican Party's worse, and then vice versa. Like the Republican Party, people are like, oh yeah, well we know that. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's some people that are so dreamless they don't know. But
choices too. Like the last election,
a lot of people are like don't think that those are good people.
Those are horrible options we had last.
They're just like, oh, I like him better because he's at least he's not a Democrat.
It reflects society though. I feel like we're not pulling from like this separate pool of society where they breed politicians. It's like they all come from the group of the society that's all considers themselves American. So it reflects society and American society the way government runs. It's not like maybe back in the day you can easily blame it on the house or the royal family because it's them and their kids repeatedly fucking you over. So revolution is a lot easier. But now you're kind of sneakier because you got a new guy coming in and out.
Right. I think it's just
they all represent similar things, but it's super hard to really.
It's like a shell game of
it's like the whole corporation.
It's
like the whole corporation. Like you can't really fight entities that don't really exist in nature. They're just.
I think the idea is it's it's like an obfuscocracy. I just invented that word. But
sounds real. What?
But like, okay, so what I mean by that is it's like the way that they stay in power is that make it so confusing on how to get to power and who's to blame that everyone's just like, we won't bother. We'll just take it. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Like, it's so hard
it's
to,
a lot
like,
harder.
if people could.
It's easier to like buy into
clear,
the system. It's easier because you will benefit more.
It's like it's not really clear who you should be fighting against.
It's just not worth it.
Right. So that's why it makes that's what they count on, is that it's too confusing to
It's soulless too. Like you're really not engaging. You can't even write poetries and songs as deeply about your deep struggles or your deep issues with the system, because you really there's no face you can put on it. You can just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if you're just looking at benefits and gains over a lifetime, it is a lot easier to conform to the system, even if it means overall you'll be dumbed down for it or lacking in significant areas. You still will survive.
Because there's no even if you wanted to fight against it, it's not really clear how you would do that, right? Because it's such a hydra. Yeah, it's like the Hydra, from Hercules. It's
exactly.
It's like as soon as you cut off one head, there's another two.
Every corporation, every massive conglomerate of just
it's a Leviathan.
These multi-corporation.
It's a ghastly Leviathan.
It's like, bro, keep it. Like, I just get sad and depressed that the Earth is truly the ultimate victim of all of it, because you see everywhere, even areas we don't inhabit, like not even where we don't even live. We don't even need to. They have it like allotted for certain uses, and they just kind of just repeatedly, on schedule, just destroy.
Just fuck it up.
Just to extract what little they can, even if they don't need it now.
Yeah.
Even if you don't need it, like, we need it on reserve, or I get it. You got multiple wars. You got to keep your eyes on.
I think they want to control the market, right? So they'll figure out who's gonna disrupt the market and fuck up their money.
It's the money. It's too much.
It's like they're against growth for the whole
Gotta pray
group.
for the planet.
If like the growth doesn't benefit them specifically, then they're like, we're sending in the.
Damn.
Anyways, we got to get back on topic. We got to go to the My Culture, My Rules last night.
Oh yeah, it was lit. Some good. I wish I remembered like who specifically was performing and stuff, but the performance I wasn't expecting.
There was like this. We're gonna have to come back to you on the name of the. There's these four kids. They were all wearing shiesty, or two of them were wearing shiesty masks.
They were killing it,
and they were crazy, man. Like they were really wild.
I honestly was going for the clothes and to look at what people were selling, but the performance was what kept me just hanging out. It was so lit.
Good beer.
It was good.
Good
and
time.
Zayd killed it. Death Note.
Yeah, Zayd. Death Note. Shout out.
Death Note.
We'll have him on the podcast one of these days.
We got to get extra mics because
when we get another mic, we'll have him on.
People want to come and embarrass themselves too. It's gonna be lit.
Everyone wants to embarrass themselves with the sweet potato pirates, huh?
Welcome to the wild, wild west. It's the internet, yo.
But that was a good event, yes. So shout out to Vision Quest Brewery. Only issue I thought was that there was no food, but there was because like they said that they said that they called a food truck and their tire fell off the car while they were driving it.
That's rough.
And then they called another food truck and the same thing happened.
Yeah, I've been eating a lot. I've been like I have to eat like every 2 hours. I feel like
eating a lot.
I've been just like, if I don't eat in the next 2 hours, I just have a stomach. Am I hungry ghosting or something?
Hungry ghosting.
Or am I growing again? It's crazy how much I eat.
I've been eating a lot too.
I eat like 6-7 times a day.
I don't know if I eat that many times a day, but I just eat lots of food.
What I do now instead of grocery shopping is I'll go out in the beginning of the day and get 4 or 5 meals that I'll be done with by the end of the day. So like I go to Natural Grocers and they have the burritos or the little mac and cheese or whatever. You just get like 5 of those and they're done by the next day.
Damn.
It's absurd. And no, I only bring that up because at the last 2 events, at the art event and at the pop-up event, I was like having a great time, but at the same time I was like, I gotta eat. I gotta eat. It was just annoying because I feel like when you're not eating, you go into this primal place. Like,
you become a caveman. It's like whatever again.
Nothing matters.
Hierarchy of needs.
I don't care.
You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like that's also why I don't be posting online, social media as much as I feel like I'm too busy eating. Like I can't go through my own I'll go to like all these events. I want to show what was going on, post pictures. But I don't know about you, but posting on social media it seems like a chore now. Is that
sounds like a chore.
It seems like
I don't know. I
can do it once every few days, but like how does people do it every day?
I have fun with it. I don't know what you're.
I go on there.
It's fun.
I'm trying to have fun with it too, but like the problem is like even the act of just opening it up and going. It's not even like it's like physically hard. It's actually easy if you really think about it. Like it's just looking and posting.
It's not like physically
but
hard.
Something about like
exhausting.
Something about like that giving my energy to that feels exhausting. I don't know if it's just me though. I feel like it's a new thing happening. Like social media.
I mean, I think that's like the thing is you gotta make it like you can't be letting it get you tired. You know.
It just seems like unexciting. I guess I don't know what it is. But
maybe we need to switch it up.
But also, I think it's also because I'm eating a lot.
You're eating too much. That's so interesting to think about, though.
I gotta start doing bulk cooking again. Because then if I have a big pot of like rice and veggies sitting there, like I just go back to that, slap it up 5 times. Because this is not sustainable how I eat. Like scratch chicken 4 times. 4 times a day. I gotta get back to nachos. That's what I need to do.
True. Nachos is just too good.
Oh yeah, next week, you know what it is? Michaelmas.
Oh, true. Michaelmas is coming up.
Michaelmas. My first
time
celebrating.
Michaelmas? First day celebrating Michaelmas.
We're going to do a big nacho
Oh, wait.
party.
It's not next week. It's the week after. It's the 29th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'll be gone next week, actually.
So, wait, when do you come back from D.C.?
Sunday night.
Oh, perfect. Then that leaves us 4 days to produce the nachos.
Oh, we're gonna be producing factory size nachos. So.
We're gonna be ready for Michaelmas.
Like we're gonna have 3 trays. One was gonna have goose. One's gonna be veggie.
Goose nacho.
One's gonna be vegan, yo. I take that back. I'm joking. Hell no. The other one's just gonna be pineapples.
No.
Because I know George loves pineapples.
That's not gonna happen. Well, 2 goose, 1 vegetarian.
2 goose, 1 veg. Okay, it's fine. I'll eat the goose too. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a goose. You have to. It's a Michaelmas tradition.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Michaelmas is
it would be so easy to make this. Like all you gotta do is just 3 bags of chips, spread each one out. We gotta get some beans, cheese. Oh, we gotta get the chili beans. We have to get 3 different ones. I feel like we can't like cut back 3 chili beans, 3 bags of chips.
It's gotta be exquisite. We'll have
3 bags of cheese. We can't get a whole bag in each one. I think. We're gonna really commit.
Yeah, we're gonna commit. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh, I'm hyped. Okay, and then we gotta get goat cheese, carrots.
Goat cheese and carrots. I don't know about the carrots. I mean, maybe if they're really well roasted, but I don't know.
No, I'm. That was my last venture in the nacho world is goat cheese and carrots. Yeah, I got the idea.
So crazy to me.
I had a 6 sandwich once with goat cheese and carrots, and I was like, maybe I should put this on nachos. And I was right. I'm gonna write it down.
Goat cheese and carrots. All right, so one is going to be goose. One is going to be one's going to be the goose nachos. One's going to be the vegetarian nachos, and one's going to be the goat cheese carrot nachos.
Goose nachos?
For Michaelmas.
Fire.
Yeah.
Did we tell when Michaelmas actually is celebrating?
Oh, yeah. So just for all the people at home, just so you know, Michaelmas is every September 29th. And it's a Christian holiday that fell out of popularity in like the Middle Ages and stuff. But it's pretty much just dedicated to Saint Michael defeating the forces of Satan and all of the angels of the world. You know, so it's all about angels, and what better to celebrate angels than with like a goose? So it's like the theme. The symbol of the holiday is the goose. So that's why we're trying to eat some goose nachos. And so we're trying to resurrect the holiday, make it popular again. And our new tradition that we're going to do is nachos.
Yes,
every
nachos.
Michaelmas. So we're gonna have a big Michaelmas nacho night.
Maybe we make a sweet potato pie for dessert too. Yeah, you never know.
Why not? Hey, that sounds like a good
what should
Michaelmas
we drink?
tradition.
Is it like we should get a special Michaelmas drink?
Yeah, we'll have to find a Michaelmas drink.
Yeah, what something that matches the vibe.
We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you on that.
It's gotta have like a very archangel vibes.
True. Yeah, it's gotta have an angel on the bottle. Is what I'm.
You know, it's crazy. I'm about to go visit my newborn baby cousin. His name is Michael.
Oh wow.
Or Mikael. For Michaelmas.
Yeah.
I wonder if I think he might be born in September. I wonder when his birthday is.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Well, what's next?
Well, the next section is the news section. Unless you have any other art topics.
Taco Cheetahs.
Taco Cheetahs? What the?
It's an alias, an artist alias name.
Oh, okay.
Taco Cheetah. Shout out Taco Cheetah, yo.
Shout out Taco Cheetah. But speaking of artists, a favorite artist of mine by the name of Mark Knopfler just released this new album, and it's super good. Well, it's almost just a group of 9 songs, and he releases them 3 at a time. But it's really good, so I've been listening to that, and I've been.
Yo, Mark Knopfler is fire. I didn't know about him until recently, but
I know he's an old man now, and I feel like he makes like kind of.
Is he chill, dude?
Yeah, he's the best.
A hippie or like what's his vibe? Like, is
he was like a little bit
guy?
No. He's a little bit after the hippie, but he was like a rock star back in the day.
Oh,
he's a member of the Dire Straits, so he's just a huge guitar like rocker kind of guy.
He's not like that Pink Floyd dude who just keeps yapping about shit, right?
No. He's
what's his
like
name? Derek Waters.
You got it. Oh
Waters?
yeah, Roger Waters.
Roger Waters.
But Mark Knopfler's like so laid back. You could look at any interview and he just will like tell us. He's just like.
Yeah.
Hey, it's so good.
I want that old man, old man.
He's just like a chill old guy. He's a big fan of America and like all this stuff. Like he's like a big fan of the culture. I feel like
he's not American.
No, he's from Newcastle in England.
Oh, no wonder you like. Okay, he's a magpie.
Yep.
Wow.
I think he's like the
he's
theme song he's a Geordie. He always makes songs about Newcastle, but
that's fire.
Yeah, I think the theme song of the Magpies is like from Mark Knopfler one.
Who are you? I'm joking.
But yeah, it was a funny way of releasing it though, because I feel like there's no publicity and like nobody really knows about it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one who figured
just
out
the game album.
No, the game album, it was all publicity, and then there was.
I swear to God, that album never happened. I feel like.
Well, it never happened. Well, because it's like I think there's a few good songs.
The
like,
games
like 3
be
or 4.
hot. I remember when the game was dropping back in like 20.
Yeah. No. I think nowadays it's like he doesn't. His last really good album was the Red Album, I think, and then it was just kind of it's been dead or downhill since then.
Oh, that's actually a good topic. Is because it's kind of like the halfway point of the year. Or not even halfway, it's more than halfway. But like, there's so many good albums that came out in the start of 2022. I feel like it stopped. Remember when it was like re-dropping crazy? It was like Pusha T, Kendrick.
Right.
Like we were getting everybody's dropped.
Nobody. I don't think anyone else is gonna drop.
Well,
we got Mark Knopfler.
Future drops.
Mark Knopfler probably would have to take the best album of the year, I think. But
no, you don't even know what he dropped. Did you listen to it?
Mark Knopfler?
The one, yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to it like 3 times.
Oh, I thought it was drop in. Okay.
No, it's already dropped. The thing is, like, I think he didn't tell anyone about it. He just dropped the songs, he just dropped it like there was 3 songs, and then he added 3 more. And then he added 3 more.
Some Kanye West ass.
Yeah, so he's just kind of being.
Can't just give you the whole thing.
He doesn't really care. He's like, whatever.
But no, I was just wondering like, what album that came out from the beginning of the year that you still listen to, because I feel like there's only one I still listen to.
Donda 2?
Not even Donda. I'm talking about like from 2022, like the beginning, like from like the first half of the year, like from Pusha to Kendrick to Future to like all.
I feel like the game album wasn't as bad as you're saying though, because like there's definitely some good songs on that one.
Well, for me, I didn't think it was all that.
I feel like there's a few good ones. I feel like there was a good ones. Like there's like one or there's really.
What about Kendrick though? That's what I want to know. Like, do you still listen to the album?
I don't really listen to that right now, but I mean, that's kind of the thing with Kendrick is I feel like well, after an album drops, like you listen to it like so much in like the first few months, and then you take a break, and then you come back to it. So it's like right now I'm kind of taking a break with Kendrick Lamar.
That's what the normal artist.
Yeah.
That's what. There's a lot of music. I'm not saying it's bad music. I have a certain. It has a cycle.
Yeah.
Only the artists I really like can I like endlessly listen to it, mindlessly. So I was just wondering if any of those albums were like that.
But like to me, it's
or do they all get cycled up?
I definitely still listening to Pusha T.
That's my one. I'm
definitely still listening to that one. Like that was a really good album.
That
one, like the Future, there's a few ones from the Future that I'm still listening to for sure.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, I'm like, there's definitely a lot of good songs, but like it doesn't really come up. Think of it, the Nas,
the King's Disease, not 2, but
was it this one?
The other one with the little short one he did.
Oh, it was like with the Woof for the Children.
Magic is it called?
There's a one I think really good song on that. The Wave Gods.
All of them like Wave God. That's the one. Yeah.
Wave Gods was the big standout for me, but yeah, there was all good songs on that.
But no, yeah, that's how I measure like what artist I truly really like. I don't know what it is because I don't get mindless about most musicians, especially the popular ones. But if there's something that speaks to me, that there's something like that's like I can play it. It's like a theme music to your life almost. And those are the artists. I don't even like live the lifestyles of those artists. There's something about their vibes.
I feel that.
Keeps it out of that cycle.
It's what you listen to.
It's like music that's not in Samsara. It's somewhere else. It's like you drop in that new Future, I Never Liked You, like, man. And then the Pusha T, we're gonna see Pusha T.
Yeah, we're gonna see Pusha T.
He's coming in Colorado in a couple of weeks. Or in October, I should say. What am I saying?
Speaking of Pusha T, his good friend Kanye West just said nay to Gap. Nay! Yay says
that's lame. You know, that's lame that Gap stock is dropping like that, because I just bought the Yeezy Gap Puffer.
But that one's like still...
But I thrifted it for
that's
nothing.
Still good. Like, that's still a good win. You know, that just makes it more rare because there's going to be no more from that era, you know?
I know, I mean, it's true. It's going to be a controversial era.
People are going to romanticize it.
He was selling those out of trash bags.
Oh, yeah?
When they first dropped.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like, he had...
It was controversial for some reason. Like,
he had big trash bags of Yeezy jackets and sweaters and people... And it's crazy how much he sold out of those, and they never brought them back. Especially, you heard about what happened with the sweaters, like the Yeezy Gaps, just very plain long neck sweaters. It's got like multicolor ones. Like shit sold out instantly. It was like the #1 selling thing Gap ever released.
Yeah,
and Gap is like old. Like Gap's been around for a while.
Gap's been around a while.
So, and they've been like the staple like white America suburban clothing brand for a while now.
Definitely.
So this is like, it's like disruptive as hell, having Kanye West do this, and to have them never rebring that same thing back, make it more accessible like he wants it to be more accessible to people.
Yeah, I think they fucked up.
And not just, leverage his equity that he's made them against him essentially to like profit more.
Yeah.
It really is a bad example and a great example of the shit Kanye's always like mindlessly spewing about. Like he's proven it, I feel like. Because the numbers are there. Like you can see the stock dropping. Definitely. You can see the numbers, what they sold, and who sold the most, what sold the most for Gap. Because who the hell is going into Gap, who besides scrubs, to buy actual shit? Like the only time Gap for me is ever relevant is if I'm finding like maybe a vintage made in USA Gap of a certain kind of cut that really fits well. But otherwise, Gap is just like a retro relic. I feel like
it's like Old Navy. It's like you don't really go there, but like
the suburbs go there.
Everyone knows about it.
Who cares where the suburbs are shopping for clothes? Like that's not interesting at all. What's interesting is seeing those puffer jackets and those big trash bags.
I think that they messed up. Like, cause it's not
they messed up. This is what they do. I feel like they just expose themselves. Because this is what all companies do. They leverage these artists.
But like they thought that they could do that. Again to Kanye West, and it's like you can't do. You can't fuck around with Kanye West. Ye says nay.
It's crazy. It's like I swear to God, it's one of those. It's not even the clothing companies that do it. Like even with Pusha T, like I remember he had a part to play in the I'm loving it. Yeah. Like that shit is money maker for McDonald's. And McDonald's is a huge company. You think even out of goodwill they would have reimbursed him in some way for that jingle that he gave them. But he really got nothing for that.
Right. You gotta keep the artist happy.
It's that kind of leverage.
Is the thing, I think.
And they have it all structured like that.
Well, the thing is,
sign here.
If you're making money, but then you like just seem to be really disrespecting people, like people don't fuck with that. Like at the end of the day, like you don't want to really shop at a clothing company if like the things that they're doing in the public eye is like they're like trying to screw over Kanye, they're trying to screw over Pusha T. That just makes them like that reflects bad.
No, they just want more money. I feel like they're not even malicious in that way. Like let's just exploit these black artists. They see what's hot, they take what's hot, and they want to extract as much as they can. No,
but what I'm saying is like it's like they think it's gonna make them more money, but I don't know if it
really does. Backfires exactly. Because Kanye's gonna say this.
Because the thing is that corporations are still like people do like that's what the public opinion about corporations is based on how they act, right? And so in the court of public opinion, when you're seen doing stuff like this. Yeah. That's an L.
That's gonna make a big difference. And you know what's crazy? I was saying earlier how it's hard to go after these corporations because they're so faceless. But Kanye is like one of the only weird, crazy persons. That's why we love him. That he literally posted the freaking images of those people in the boardroom at Adidas. And these are the people that are trying to screw me over, take my ideas, and kind of profit from me, and like. Immediately put him on blast. Yeah, he'll put and then he's like, "I love you all." But he knows like I'm showing people what this is and how these are the people, like these are the faces behind this like elusive corporate entity known as Adidas.
Yeah, he has the public. He has that's the thing is it's like sure, like corporations are unstoppable and like nobody can like topple them. But if you have somebody who's really big, like like Kanye West, and everyone's following his Instagram because they can't wait to hear what he says next, and then he starts blasting on like the board of directors of the company.
And
it's
he's
like,
on TV
that's
too,
a lot of pressure.
He's on the television saying
that's a lot of damn pressure.
Yeah.
That's
he's hanging out with Chris Rock.
You can just do. Yeah, he's with Chris Rock.
That's so funny, yo.
Like that's because
you know what? Like they slapped him low key. They slapped him in the face with that shit. I feel like that's a slap. That's a slap to the face. Because you gotta be smart. Like you're right. Like as you are this massive company, you gotta understand. Like it's not just about like your ultimate bottom line and your like kind of established system of how you go about making these deals. Yeah. But see that certain artists, especially at the level of Kanye West, deserve a certain pedigree. How you not gonna have him in the boardroom?
Right,
that's
you
me. That smells like Jim Crow
people
shit.
Feel good.
You gotta have him in the fucking boardroom. Like that's Kanye West. Like I don't care. He's not like the president of the country, but like he's super influential. Like,
yeah, you gotta.
How does his voice not matter?
You can't just like.
That can't be real. Like that cannot be real.
We're gonna. I don't know.
It's because he's just not saying.
We're not doing.
I don't know if his mind is bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
How many crazy?
Well, that's
many crazy people on those boardrooms.
That's so rude too, because I mean the whole point is that like, I think with mental illness, it's like we gotta accept it and we gotta work through it and face up to it, not judge people for it and be like, oh, he just needs some medicine. Like that's if you're saying that, if you find yourself saying that, you're part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Because you're saying like you're saying that somebody should like put some pills in their body till they shut up just because you don't like the way that they act and like people's mental pathways, like people are neurodivergent and
that's
shit.
That
like,
dangerous kind of pity.
People are weird, or
it's
people are go on all sorts of flavors. There's all sorts of flavors of people. Like you can't just have like the one size fits all, and you gotta. And I think that you need to take some fucking pills so you can shut the fuck up.
I need to watch One Piece. Like people are interesting in their weird, wacky ways. Like sometimes they'll come out like tip, like they're a little on this, or sometimes they're just like this.
And if someone's just saying some out of pocket stuff that's really crazy, maybe that guy's a little crazy, or maybe you're a little sensitive,
or maybe people need to relate to others in a way that's not just about exposing them or putting them on blast or showing off their.
It's all like Twitter.
Yeah, like all this pastoring.
I was just shocked.
You just gotta see people as they are. That's it. You just gotta see them as they are. And if they're acting up, you deal with them. If they're acting up, you deal with it. If they're causing danger, you deal with it. You always deal with it if it needs to be dealt with.
Let's correct the actions.
If people are wacky, they're weird.
Talk about what's wrong.
Yeah.
And if people are out of line, let's call them out and like hold them accountable.
100%.
But like let's not judge people and be like, oh, you're mentally ill, blah blah blah.
And now we can't have you in the boardroom and like make these important financial decisions. And you have all these other crazy sort of. Some of these people are on some other weird shit. Like these are the type of people who pay like a lot of money to fly certain people out in certain places to do weird stuff. These are weirdos. Like, rich people are weird. Rich people are weird. Let's be honest. Like just because we don't know what you're doing, it's not like we haven't heard about what's going on.
No, you guys invented.
There's a lot of weird shit going on. So you judging him like he like too crazy to be in these boardrooms, or
he's probably the most sane person in the damn room.
A bunch of you are just fraudulent. That's it. And you can fake it around those peers, quote unquote, or your whatever your circle is. But like somebody who just talks how it is, you can't have them around because it's gonna blow up your spot of fakeness. That's all it is.
It's ridiculous.
No cap.
Actually, what do you think about that?
Now I'm gonna unplug this, and you should put that on silent. Sweet. Making my editing journey a lot.
We're learning as we go.
Learn as we go.
Are you gonna get some water or something, or are you?
I was, but I want to unplug it because that's gonna make it hard to edit.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine. I'm gonna stay parched.
Stay parched. Here, I can grab it. If you go on with just monologue.
Oh, okay, bet. Monologuing. Is this where I do a soliloquy?
Yeah.
Fuck Gap. Give Kanye his money. Let him in that boardroom. Give Kanye everything he needs. If Kanye wants to build a church, let him build a church. If you want to build a school, let him build a school. If you want to build a whole college campus, let him build a whole college campus. Okay, like this is ridiculous. I don't understand this at all. All of you are crazy. Damn, I'm always running out of ink. God bless.
God bless. All right, I'm back. Went down the wrong pipe there.
That was good though. Jeez. So what's next?
I'm back. The next topic is well, this is kind of what we've been leading up to, which is the Civil War II.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, I don't know much about this. I just heard whispers. So what's up with the Civil War II? That sounds lame as hell to me. I don't know about you.
Well, I don't know. I just think
the
that
Democrats versus the Republicans.
Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly, but I think that there's just like there's a level of political. But I think there's just a level of political instability. I don't think anyone. I think it would depend on exactly how the cookie crumbled, as far as like where the lines were drawn in the sand, and who's on which side.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if it's really just the far right who's trying to rebel, then like they would lose. I don't think that they would.
I mean, but I'm seeing the tendencies of who is signing up to be in this army, who wants to be soldiers. Like there's just a dramatic rate of more southern right-wing types of folks.
Yeah, well,
to be more oriented around. Not that the northern and eastern.
I think there's like a lot of people that are upset at like the government and stuff, and I just think it's it's definitely a dangerous path to go down to be like, oh, you know what? To help this is violence, and I've noticed that like there's like this, and even like on the left or the right, like there's just this idea that talking isn't good. Let's just go straight to violence, and I just want these types of people to remember themselves saying that. Because as they see more and more violence in the country, you have no one to blame but yourself. If you're advocating for violence in your own life, like how can you be surprised when the world becomes more violent? You need to actively stay away from violence and sort out these issues. That doesn't mean everyone's right. That doesn't mean that people who are who you want to be violent towards aren't doing anything wrong. That just means that violence is not the answer. We need to sort this out without violence for everything to be groovy.
That's just going backwards if you start killing each other at that level.
Yeah.
Like, people already are violent in one way or the other. When you go see these protests.
No, the protests are so violent already.
Even these,
what are you doing?
So-called virtuous, great leftist people, who are here to save, all these, marginalized people. Even them, you'll see how get in your face, get violent.
Yeah,
even towards people they would claim to be saving.
Yeah, and they'll throw the first punch and throw a brick at people. It's like you're just making things way worse. You can't. I think it's good for people to be upset because there's a lot to be upset about in this country.
Don't hurt each other. Don't be violent.
But violence is we got to try our best to not let there be anti-violence at all.
When the violence starts, it's always the same kind of people. It's the same, the poor, marginalized groups who are always going to be the ones getting the most collateral. You can have, even the protests, even when they're doing the looting. When they were looting, I understand some people thought it was going to be revolutionary and it's going to spark something. But what I saw in a lot of places was people who are very privileged people who don't have half the worries that somebody.
It was like Jake Paul doing.
Yeah, they'll come into these businesses, independently owned businesses, and destroy them and vandalize them and write a bunch of a BLM all over it. And somebody who's just kind of maybe they're immigrants, maybe they're Koreans, they're owning a salon or something, right? They have no problem with black people, but all these white kids just came in and destroyed their store, sprayed Black Lives Matter everywhere. Next thing you know, they don't like black people as much, or they look at black people different because the energy you brought to that spot was completely misguided and misdirected. It didn't seem revolutionary at all, and it just again, next thing you know, when black people are trying to go into that same salon, they're getting looked differently, they're getting treated differently.
But it's just adding some negativity that's that gets to overcome. It's not to say that.
And I see that a lot. When I was in New York, there was a lot of awkward stares or feelings, and sometimes even borderline. Some guys told me when I walked into the deli in New York City, old man, oh yeah, somebody like you coming in here is a sign that things are going downhill. Straight bluntly, that kind of thing. And I'm brother, that's the kind of thing. That's that's the byproduct of the system that kind of let this kind of thing fester, where people are kind of, even amongst their own subsets of groups, are kind of programmed to find divisions and fight amongst each other to kind of distract from real problems that that drive the system forward. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It's like, I don't know, I get the intention. I'm not saying everybody has that intention, but when you're out there like doing these things, you gotta like do it with most of all like consciousness. Like
Right.
protesting should be very much a consciousness effort. Again, anarchy might have a role to play in certain instances, but that's when you're dealing with like violence back at like it's like
anarchy is the kind of thing that can only
it's not
useful for in like certain situations.
Yeah, and it
like,
really hurts those people you're trying to protect. It really hurts those people you're trying to protect.
We need to be going.
You create more racists.
We need to grow.
Future races. You plant seeds of hatred.
We can't be leaving
everywhere.
like trauma for the future generations to overcome. We gotta sort through our own shit and make the world a better place. Like it's just as simple.
This is harder to be more conscious.
We can't be leaving. Yeah, it's not an easy. Nobody said it'd be easy, but
it's easier to
like that's
the America sucks.
Wee.
Like you're planting more seeds. More.
Yeah, the way forward is
more shootings.
Love. That's all I have to say. Love.
That's what my church reverend would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's a whole because he really like it's really like super. It's crazy. We really in the trenches about all this. Like besides even the Civil War concept, just like how mentally sane and just how happy people are nowadays, it just seems to be like lacking. Mm-hmm. People are like really in like joylessness. Yeah, a lot of the times, and it's like, it should not have to be. I feel like we're getting into these what considered serious topics, and we're always arguing about who's valid, who's not valid, morally, politically. It becomes such a dire, joyless experience. Everybody's face looks so smug and mug, like everybody's taking pills after pills. It's like I feel like the main focus is how do we get people to really enjoy life and not like And again, it's super hard because you get like this like mishmash of like violence and poverty and a bunch of just taking advantage of people, and it just becomes difficult to really bring in that dimension. Like that's actually important. Like how can people actually enjoy life without all this like give me, get me shit. Like how can we?
Yeah, I think it's a lot about spiritual wealth.
Yeah.
Like,
and even the people who have the most tend to be like in the grims. You know what I mean? Like it's
people
backwards.
people have like
it's backwards.
Tons like all the money in the world, and they'll be like the least happy people.
Just not even
but, like they can't even have a friend. Like, it's a sad thing.
Even like when they have like not even just money, like they'll have like everything like kind of answered for them. Like they'll get things given to them almost. Like people who don't even have to work. It's not even like just per se somebody's rich. Like let's say you are a kid who just has money because his family had money, so you never had to worry about that, right?
Right.
So you see these like lost kind of people all around. And they are looked upon like as models. You see a lot of these TikTokers or influencers. Most of them come from wealth, and most of them,
people idolize.
Most of them had no time to worry about nothing. They just kind of got on Instagram.
There's nothing really to admire about them.
There's really nothing to admire.
It's really funny,
and it becomes very much like emptiness feeling inside you, looking at other empty people doing empty shit, and then you just like.
You're wishing it's like the empty person who's doing that is mostly just getting off. I think they're mostly just even getting off on the thrill of being watched while they do it, and then the people who are watching them are only getting off on the thing, like on the thing they don't have. It's like everyone's just like everyone's lost. Like people are going through empty actions, going home feeling like little ghosts.
In a big way, not even Loki. This is not like
This is a big ghost. Everyone's a ghost baby.
Ghosted in a big way, and it doesn't have to be that way. Like there's a balance to everything, and the whole social media thing I was saying earlier, like how it becomes a chore. Like the things in life I enjoy the most, like are in life, and they always come super effortless. Like I don't gotta like pull myself out of bed to do them. You know what I mean? Right. So it's not like you gotta start meditating and yogaing and
maybe
you should, but this is not. I'm not even trying. I'm saying like there needs to be like a whole reshift because like the point of just being here is missing. I feel like people forget. Just like that's the rule number one. I think it's like it's easy to just look at other people's lives and get caught up in that. Because think about it. I feel like everybody who grew up in the internet times in the last like us and below, all see how like back in the day somebody might have strived to be like a great warrior because. That's who everybody talked about. Like that's what the stories and the legends was about.
It was all about the warriors,
the great warriors and heroes. And nowadays, it's all about these great influencers and these great TikTokers and whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
sometimes there's more. There's nuance to it. I'm not sure. But the majority of who's really popular are these people, and what is created is like everybody deep down strives to be in that level of attention and influence. And it's like, how's that realistic for everybody to be there? It's not. And every kid is being programmed to want to be that. And if they're not near that, if they're not reflected even in one aspect, that level of influence and attention, they feel like they are worthless. It's like a worthlessness.
No, it's so crazy too, because
it's backwards as hell.
I think that I see so many people who have like tons of value. Like everyone brings so much value, to their life and things like that.
They lose it though. They're just like, well, I'm not going to the MoMA, doing the gala, doing the boo-boo, I'm not doing these things. I'm not at this place with these people, because they see like every year annual postage. And I've had this conversation a lot with a lot of people, because everybody kind of has their own versions of this, but it does leave you feeling like FOMO in for life. So you don't want that energy. Like, it's just pointless, and people don't get to high places in life, but FOMOing.
I think that the thing is too that
doesn't make sense.
There's nothing that like necessarily makes like a life like not valuable or not cool. But if you spend your whole life wishing you were living another person's life, then you can never be happy. Right? Like, you cannot be happy if you're spending all day thinking, oh, what if? All the what ifs. That's
a disaster.
Those thoughts are killing you. You need to stop that. Like, like you need to accept whatever is in your life, and just if you can be happy with that, like that's where it's.
That goes for the people who are also famous and influential. Like the idea that maintaining this is gonna be what's gonna keep you happy or satisfied is bullshit as well. Like, all that should just be a secondary byproduct. Like, you should focus on whatever you're grinding on, and then whatever's gonna actually make you happy. And I feel like, I don't know, the energy that I try to have is like, we're all essentially having a human experience in ultra high definition. I'm experiencing poverty in 4K glory here on Earth, just like somebody over there is experiencing wealth. Because it's not like the rich guy or the guy who has everything for them experience a higher reality. You know what I mean? It's really substance, like the substance of reality, how it manifests and the rate it manifests. Unless you have mental issues or something, processing problems, essentially comes to us with such crazy levels of detail and like glorious beauty that we have so much access to this, and it doesn't feel like I'm like missing out at all. It feels like a blessing that even I get to be crawling around as an insect. Like, even anything feels like it's a blessing, because you get to be part of a unimaginable level of beauty that I don't think people have swallowed up yet.
Yeah.
But once you swallow it up, you realize you can't really buy it. This is the kind of beauty you can never buy. It's just priceless everywhere around you, even in the grassy, dirty, whatever ground. Shit.
Speaking of beauty you can never buy, the new iPhone.
Oh, nah. Nope.
Yeah, they just released it. What is it, the 14 now?
Yeah.
I still got my 13, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get a new one.
I literally like everybody's memeing how it's the same every time.
Yeah.
I never Steve felt Jobs to begin with. Like, I always buy a new one.
Steve Jobs' daughter. Yeah, I always buy it when I break it.
Like, smash it. Not even just like, oh, the software is not updated. And
I've had so many bad experiences breaking phones. One time I flushed one down the toilet. One time I
What? That's not possible.
And one time
that's not possible. I can't fit down the toilet.
One time I was in the amusement park, in the water slides, and I had my phone in my pocket, and it shot out, and it got shot out of the sky, like it got shot into the sky.
And it smashed?
Yeah. It was covered in water.
That's a disaster. Why'd you have your phone in the...
I wasn't thinking. And then one time, I was like a kid when that happened. And then one time I was at the gym and I dropped the weights on top of my phone because I didn't see it there. Actually, that happened 2 times. But yeah, I've definitely destroyed so many phones. But like, mostly it was just like the screens, and then you just got that replaced. But that was a while ago, when I was a kid. But
I actually ran over my phone with my skis once. That was like the 2 phones from this, and that was right before my upgrade.
Oh, nice.
But I like left a line of scrapes inside the screen part. And what do you call it? The Gorilla Glass case. 'Cause I had that on there, but I went through that, and then it like left
the screen protector
crater.
you're talking about?
Yeah. But I left a little crater in the middle. Usually, I'm really good with my phone though, unless I don't have.
No, I'm much
unless
better.
I go butt naked.
I was bad with it for a while, but like when I was a kid. But I just needed to learn. I got, I would break my nicer phone, then I would end up with like the replacement phone.
Yeah.
So I was using like a flip phone with like the pull-out antenna.
The good old days.
Yeah.
But nah, the new iPhone ain't it. Like, and I will never. Even if they did get something popping, I wouldn't buy it because it's just all about your contract. They need to know everybody's under contract, and when that shit runs out, you get a new one. Don't be updating it trying to break it. They try to bug it sometimes. I heard I feel like that's actually proven. That they,
they do that.
You with bugs, so you were forced to upgrade type situation.
Yeah, they're gonna just keep it.
It's all about the contract. Everybody's like dealing with other third-party companies and stuff. Like I don't know why they're doing this. Like that's like I can't say nothing about Apple because they make more money than everybody else. But like that just seems like you working against yourself. Like if somebody is into like the OG iPhone 3, they should be able to use it without having problems.
Right.
Just because you want to make more money. I feel like
it's like
that's cooler.
I think that's actually one of the biggest problems.
That's cooler.
Probably with like the countries. It's like what's it called? Built-in. It's like there's some word for it where it's like they make products to like be able to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Like faster, so that way you'll need new ones.
Yeah.
And like I think that it's just kind of like
it really is.
There's no value in that.
It happens a lot. I feel like in capitalist systems because it's like it happens at the hospital and doctors. Like
right.
Like fully taking care of the problem. Like they won't make something that's like a permanent solution to like some of the most common issues. I feel like for that reason.
Yeah, they want you.
You want to hear crazy conspiracy though?
Okay, let's get
apparently Nikola Tesla discovered a method of accessing infinite energy.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Because electricity is contained in like just straight up midair. There's energy is in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to like, this is like again, it's a conspiracy, access enormous levels of energy just in like this much amount of space. You know what I mean? Contained. Mm-hmm. So this basically is the idea that we actually have enough energy to light up the whole Earth if we wanted to. There's that much energy here, but with that level of free energy being distributed to the population, you start losing money in like everything. There's no way to make money off the energy grid, the power plant grid, all the ways they've set up individual households to be like paying individual rates for how they power their things. You'll just lose out on so much money. So Edison and his people essentially monopolized it and created a way to have kind of like expensive energy instead of opposed to this infinite energy. So I feel like this is the most disgusting example of kind of like capitalism kind of allowing for net growth to disappear because it doesn't really profit in the long run. It solves issues instead of creating more.
The thing I think
you can patch up with money.
About capitalism is it just really wants what it looks for is it looks for places for people to get rich, like providing a product to people.
Yeah.
But so the result of that is we have like so many products, we have so many different things, but we don't necessarily. There's no like any big problem to solve. Like we're not necessarily solving it. If it can't be solved with a product, like if we can't fit a product in the as the solution, then nobody wants to solve it.
And the product has other products components. Everything's like multi-component thing. Like we're not really we don't like to keep things ergonomical and dynamic, like all in one kind of use.
Yeah, it's
like a cup and a bowl and a cup and
complicated.
Like 6 different kind of cups. There's 10 different types of bowls.
It's so complicated.
13 different types.
Lives are so complicated. No wonder people are.
And then we end up with just so much stuff, and then you go to the bins and you have to salvage these things because people are just wasteful as hell. Like there's so much trash.
People are wasteful as hell.
Every single again, maybe life would be boring if you just had one thing that does everything for everything and that you needed to do.
But that would be simple. That would be
everything's a Swiss Army type of vibe. But I feel like I don't know. Maybe you keep it in its place. With clothing, you might want to experience a certain level of artistic flair. With food, you want something delicious, tasty, different flavor. Right. But I don't know, with just practical everyday things, I feel like we gotta cut back just the level of volume that we purchase.
Yeah,
with cups and forks we need forks. We barely have forks.
Too many cups is what we do.
We have too many cups, we have too many mugs. But then there's also the way just philosophically how we're taught to exist is having just all this sheer volume of objects to relate
that
in the bathroom there's 30 things you need. For me, it's just I just need water and coconut oil.
You don't know what about soap?
And again, you gotta wash your hair. Sometimes people have like acne and they gotta wash that, and they got like there's situations where you have medical things you need to do in the bathroom.
Right.
I don't want to discount that, and you gotta brush your teeth and floss. I get it, but the amount of shit, like the average bathroom, you go in there, it's just like the amount of stuff that just sits there not used. It's like crazy. And then same thing with the kitchen, like even here, like we have so much. The spice shell, half that shit can be thrown out. The spice rack.
Yeah, well, we got too much.
But again, that goes with food. So you never know.
Some spices.
You
we
never
just have
know
some
when
spices
you need.
we don't really
You never
use.
know when you need a little
way too
nutmeg.
Much.
You know,
I get way too much of some.
There's context to this, so I don't want to water everything down. But like, there's
you need some spice in life.
There's
too.
a lot of places we cut back. I feel like in volume,
Definitely.
and just like have less stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that also it's just like not getting things or like trying to find ways to
not getting an iPhone
more
every
sustainable.
year. Why is there a new iPhone every year? Why it's just not special anymore? Why is if there was a new iPhone every like the World Cup every 4 years? The World Cup is so special because it's every 4 years. If it was every year, it'd be lame as hell. Same thing with these Hyundais and Mazdas.
Oh no,
why
is
there a new edition of your car every year? Why is there a new Honda Accord?
I think that makes sense.
Nah, I think they're not. I don't think the difference between a 2021 Hyundai Accord to a 2022 Hyundai Accord.
No, that's not that big of a difference.
Like, we're like,
it's just like they're the ones.
Give it time. No. Cut back on the yearly shit because it's like hundreds of companies doing it. So you get thousands of different companies every year putting out new shit with minimal. And again, only the certain niche people are gonna give a shit. The average person is like they're not gonna care about the 2019 Honda and the 2020.
But like, I don't think anyone's like tossing out the 2019 Honda for the 2020 Honda. Like,
I mean, if you're really rich, you are. But again,
but yeah, that's
maybe if you're
living like that,
build
that's
like
crazy.
I don't know, make a small amount. Like I don't know. I think it's so stupid to have every year just these basic ass car companies. It's not like they're like even all that cool. It's just basic generic cars. Like that's what they are. Let's be honest. The modern car is just generic as hell, and it's the same as copy paste bullshit every time. You might be tweaking a little.
Well, we're gonna have to agree
here.
to disagree.
I get it, but every year, sometimes it's not like Chevy will put out 16 cars a year. It's like you don't need that. That's too many cars, and that's so.
But I feel like it's more like they just call it that because they added like one or two things, and they're like just called that so you could know what year it came out.
That's so many cars. There's so many cars, and again, it's because there's a lot of money here, a lot of jobs. I get it, but. Man, fire all the cars. I think. How about you fire all the computers and we make handmade cool cars that come out every 10 years?
I think that if they make cars that like would last longer, like, I think
they probably don't want that either.
Yeah, that's another thing is like some people say that cars are like the older cars, like the cars from like the 50s and 60s, they were able to like last longer, like they.
That's back. It's like fridges from back in the day.
Yeah, they were so well built like that they still work if you properly care for them.
Yeah,
but like then a lot of
nobody's coming to the lot today. What's up? We don't have this new the 2022 Chevy Subaru. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's boring. And there's so many cars that probably sit there not used. Let's be honest. How many brand new cars that sit there not used?
I don't know about that though. I kind of feel like that's not.
I'm not gonna act like I know this. I will look into it, but judging by how we do things with housing, how many houses, brand new luxurious apartments and condos and mansions just sit there,
I wouldn't be crazy if they just.
Oh, they do the houses. Oh my god.
Why no? They let me live there.
No. You will like in New York City, you'll have tons of homeless people out here, and then most of the houses are empty. In New York, that's like I've proven. I don't know if the numbers are still the same.
That doesn't even make sense.
It's been proven. Like I don't know. Again, I don't bring the paperwork here.
Okay,
no, because these are luxury houses. These are like sometimes are just bought by immigrants.
Just make them.
No. These
cheaper.
these are the top of the line $1 million house. Like this is not the kind of house you're gonna give to homeless people.
If nobody's buying it, like okay, then let the.
But if the market's not there, or maybe it's owned by immigrant people who don't even live there, they just kind of own it. You know what I mean? They don't even. Sometimes Chinese people like all over Soho or they'll buy these properties and literally just have it sit there, because it's just like for them it's a way to like again put money into certain places so it looks like they can hold it in certain places. It's like more. It's a different. Maybe
there should be a law.
It's a different monetary game. I don't understand.
You can't have like property if you don't use it.
Honestly, it should be a law
because it doesn't make sense if we're gonna have like housing and then it's just gonna get like because if it's just like an investment and you're not letting people live there.
It's a whole
like if you gotta at least let somebody rent it.
They're playing a whole other game, like a whole other monetary game with their assets that I don't understand because I'm not rich. But like, you know how rich people have assets everywhere? They're like, oh yeah, I got this there over here. Like, bro, you don't need like the 4 empty apartments in New York City. You live in China or Shanghai, and you got homeless people right on the same block. And this shit happens everywhere, I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I think that's an issue.
And there's a lot of surplus access with an E. Like that we have that people just never like food, the amount of food waste, the amount of clothing waste.
Axes? Like for chopping the wood?
No, access.
Oh, access
waste, like X with an E, access.
Oh, AC or excess.
EX, yeah.
Excess. Okay.
Excess.
I get what you're saying now.
But yeah, we too wasteful, son. We hit the out mark though. We should probably.
Hold on, we still have to talk about history.
Oh shit. What's the news?
Well, take a look at this pottery here. We're gonna have to put it in the video.
Oh my god.
105. But see this clay person, and then they get this pot.
It's like sea people art.
No, so this was from Marijoa Island.
Oh.
Does that sound like the thing from One Piece?
Yeah, it does.
So I think that's like this is my One Piece theory.
Where does Marijoa from?
So it's an island at the end of the Amazon, like right where the Amazon River hits the ocean.
Oh.
And this culture was found to be like they were like a very thriving culture for like thousands or like hundreds of years. And a lot of people didn't even realize that like nobody could even deny how civilized it was. So like this theory was like, oh, they must have come from the Andes or something, because everyone wants to act like the Marijoa culture, or like that the Marijoa culture was only from like that the Amazon wasn't really like a civilized place.
I heard about the Amazon not having much of a civilized culture.
You want to know something? So
that's some cool pottery though.
The first people, Orellana and Carvajal, to travel down the Amazon River, when they first did it, they saw all of these like civilizations and all of these houses and all of this culture and stuff. And they thought that was what they reported. That's what they reported. And then like
this nobody, like the myth of El Dorado or something.
No. This is true. And then the next people who came down, like it was like 100 years later, all of those civilizations had collapsed.
Like by themselves.
Well, because of the diseases.
The diseases.
And the changing in like political structure and like.
But they didn't leave nothing behind. The Amazon swallowed it up.
They did. Well, the Amazon swallowed it up. So a lot of people didn't think it was real. Now they're finally finding it. They're like using like lasers and shit. I don't know how that works, but they're using the lasers.
I feel like I heard something about this. Yeah, because Amazon does swallow up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So it's like now they're actually thinking, oh, they realized that they for a while they thought that the people just made it up to make the trip sound better.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, it was like
actually,
the city of gold.
Yeah, but actually, it was real. Like it was real the whole time, and like the culture collapsed from the diseases from the Europeans. And what's interesting to me is like that there was also the DeSoto trip through the United States of America, and they went like through like the Mississippi and stuff like that, and they saw these giant cities with all these urbanized like high technology.
With the mound builders?
Yeah. Well, that's just one of the groups. But they found like they were talking about like hundreds of different ones that they would run into.
North America. I mean, not North and South America in history, like back then, is just like too cool to be true.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like that's like what the thing that's exciting to me is just like
I can't imagine what it was
just
like.
How fucking powerful and amazing it is. To just imagine life in like in the Marijoa.
Like, Marijoa. That's a cool name.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't know the vibe I get. It's the same thing with Polynesian kind of I was talking about before, but like as a kid I remember watching stuff and learning about like El Dorado and like the city in the jungle and like something about like this mysterious force and society that lives in the Amazon. Something about that just fills you up with your imagination in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I still feel like we don't really like we get the Aztecs, Mayans, Andean civilizations, which is like one component that's super fascinating. But the whole like in the jungle, like super crazy like mysterious cultures in the jungle, like.
Well, like I think that's a lot of where like ayahuasca traces its origins to like those kind of civilizations, and like there's even like this whole thing about like the soil. I don't know if you've heard about it, but like there's this type of soil that they would use like, because the idea was that the jungle ground is too acidic to like for agriculture, but then like there's this these reports of like there's this mythical soil that these people know how to make where it's like you kind of like have some ingredients to mix it up, but then it's super like it grows super
It's
well.
like when you add the bird poop.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know exactly how you make it, but then I think
But also,
I ran into somewhere.
why would you need to farm in Amazon when there's fruits and nuts and all kinds of animals? Would you just not eat that?
No, yeah. Well, it would just be to make like the right type of
I feel like
agriculture.
I don't know, with like just seeing other examples like Aborigines, how they how advanced their agriculture was, and how they were able to tame the land in such a profound way, and how a lot of ancient humans really were able to do that. Like wherever they may be, like they found a way to like even Bedouin pastoralist like Arab tribes, how they figured out their society and would find profound connection to that land. Like I just surprised that Amazon doesn't have that kind of strong culture stemming from it, where people really understand how to thrive here. Like, because humans really are good.
Well, I think that they did. It's just that
that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm surprised like that we're not like more talking about them, and like they're not more of a cultural impact from that, because I feel like I don't know, like
I think that's happening in the nowadays.
It's pretty badass to live in one with the Amazon.
True.
Or any rainforest, for that matter. A lot of deadly stuff there.
True.
Probably more death in the forest than anything else, honestly.
You know how the Amazon got its name?
The woman?
The people who like reported all that.
Like the ancient
first,
Greek story?
Or no, the first Europeans
Scythians?
to drop down. No. I'm not talking about the Scythians. I'm talking about the Orellano and Caravaggio when they went through the Amazon. They're the first Europeans to ride down the Amazon River.
Mm-hmm.
And
they named it?
They named it. They named it after the because there was a lot of women warriors that they said that they had to that kept attacking them.
Yo, that just reminds me.
And so that was what they named it. Well, after the ancient Greek story of the Amazon.
Shout out Johnny Harris, I think. I was watching a cool video this week about California and how like everybody used to think California was an island back in the day.
Oh yeah, I heard.
Like the maps all showed it to be an island, and apparently there's a Spanish story in like a novella talking about this ancient. It's like a Spanish Atlantis. This
I think I've heard of this
mythical land called California, ruled by a warrior princess.
Yeah. I've seen art of her.
Also, all women. It's an all women society, and they're all black, and they're all like don't have men, and the only time they have men is when they come to the island to have sex with them and take the babies. Only the girls, and the woman who's the queen. Her name was like Queen Kali. Sorry, we had technical difficulties. We're back.
But I think we're out of time for this episode.
Yeah.
even
Shout out Marie Joie.
Shout out Marie Joie. All right, thank you.